Founded in 1985, LifeLink 3 provides helicopter and airplane services for on-scene emergency and interfacility transport of patients requiring critical care. LifeLink 3's mission is safe and effective air medical transport. Safety, customer focus, and excellence are among the core values of our company. Because LifeLink 3 is committed to the highest level of safety during all helicopter and fixed-wing or airplane operations, it's vitally important that our procedures and protocols are fully understood and followed. We rely on you, our valued partners, to keep everyone on the ground and in the air as safe as possible. When calling for patient transport, key pieces of information are needed to facilitate the request. What is the reason for transport? What's the address, cross street, or GPS coordinates? Who is the ground contact? What is the radio frequency at the scene?
Ram Captain 2 to LifeLink helicopter on STAC 12. Your landing
Identify a landing zone coordinator known as the LZ coordinator to facilitate a safe landing zone. The coordinator oversees the entire scene and is the sole ground contact with the LifeLink 3 helicopter.
Your patient is critical but breathing. You'll get a report from the ambulances.
LifeLink 3 Communication Center confirms landing zone and radio contact frequency. If necessary, LifeLink 3 makes these arrangements and notifies the local dispatch center to relay information to the incident commander.
County 4115.
In Minnesota, the helicopter communicates with the LZ coordinator on STAC channels 1 through 12. In Wisconsin, on channels Mark 1 or 2. When communicating with our helicopter, the LZ coordinator provides the flight crew with the following information. Location, including major landmarks and highways. Description of the landing zone, surface, size, and shape. Any hazards such as power lines, slopes, obstacles, trees, loose debris, and hazmat petroleum or chemicals. Use the term abort if a dangerous situation develops during approach. As a reminder, smoking is prohibited around any helicopter or aircraft.
Your landing zone is going to be...
When requested for a scene flight, LifeLink 3 moves resources toward the area. If the helicopter arrives before the scene is secured, LifeLink 3 stages a safe distance from the scene until the landing zone is secured. If at any time your assessment of the patient dictates that air transport is not necessary, the LZ coordinator may cancel the helicopter. For scenes with multiple patients, more than one helicopter may be requested. When that occurs, pilots communicate between aircraft and notify the LZ coordinator if 2 landing zones are needed. Landing zone preparation. The landing zone should be at least 100 feet by 100 feet and located on a firm, level surface. Aircraft cannot safely land on excessive slopes. The landing zone should also be located at least 100 feet from the patient. Keep emergency personnel back 100 feet as well, and spectators need to be at least 200 feet away. Roadways should also be blocked by emergency vehicles to prevent traffic from coming near the helicopter. Clear the area of any debris and obstructions, including objects that may become airborne due to the rotor wash. Rotor wash can produce hurricane-type winds and may pick up small objects, possibly causing injury, and can damage the aircraft or vehicles. The area should be clear of trees, signs, posts, power lines, and large rocks. If power lines are close to the perimeter, park emergency vehicles under the overhead wires if possible to assist the pilot in locating them. Also, notify the pilot immediately if drones or model aircraft are present. Also, keep in mind that LifeLink 3 helicopters will land and take off into the wind. Landing zone preparation at night. When preparing a landing zone at night, mark the 4 corners with low-beam vehicle lights, rotating beacons, or secured battery-powered lighting. If lasers are used, never direct lasers above the horizon or toward the aircraft, and never use flares. Emergency vehicles could also be used at the 4 corners with headlights pointing to the center.
As an addition, you may place a 5th light on the edge of the landing zone on the side from which the wind is coming.
This communicates to the pilot which direction the wind is coming from. No matter if it's a day or evening incident, Personnel on scene should wear protective clothing whenever possible, including hearing and eye protection. After the helicopter crew receives final information from the landing zone coordinator, the pilot lands in the designated landing zone. But prior to landing, the pilot may conduct a low-altitude reconnaissance pass or hover, looking for additional hazards. On occasion, pilot assessment of the landing zone may require an alternate landing location. Once the helicopter has landed, do not approach it unless escorted by a flight crew member. Then always remain within view of the pilot. Only approach and depart the helicopter from the side. The most dangerous area around the helicopter is the tail rotor at the rear of the aircraft. It's virtually impossible to see the tail rotor while the aircraft is running. The LZ coordinator designates a tail rotor guard to ensure no one approaches the rear of the aircraft. Position the tail rotor guard 50 feet behind the aircraft, remaining in position until the aircraft departs. Even if the aircraft is shut down, the LZ coordinator and tail rotor guard must stay with the aircraft. Patient loading. Check that the patient is not in possession of mace, pepper spray, firearms, hazardous materials, or dangerous items. Then, upon receiving the patient report and conducting a rapid assessment, the crew loads the patient into the helicopter. When assisting in patient transfer, follow all flight crew directions. Secure all equipment, including linens, medical equipment, and bags. All items, such as IV poles, must remain low enough to pass beneath the rotor blades. Approach the helicopter from the side with direction from the flight crew and depart from the same side.
So we're going to unstrap her.
Load the patient feet first into the helicopter. Allow the flight crew to close and secure doors and compartments. Once the patient is on board, the crew performs a final safety and security check prior to departure. The LZ coordinator and tail rotor guard must ensure the landing zone remains secure until the aircraft safely departs. Fixed-wing aircraft ground safety. In addition to a fleet of helicopters, LifeLink 3 has a medically configured airplane ready at all times. This type of transportation may be an option for patient transports greater than 150 miles or if helicopter transport is limited by weather. If fixed-wing transportation is needed, LifeLink 3 Communications Center will coordinate all aspects, including ambulance transport to and from the airports. Do not approach the airplane while it's running, if any lights are flashing, if the doors are closed, if the pilots are still in the cockpit. Keep the ambulance at least 50 feet from the aircraft until signaled by the flight crew to approach. Once cleared, the vehicle should always remain a minimum of 1 vehicle length from the closest part of the aircraft, and never back the ambulance up to the aircraft without a flight crew marshaling the vehicle. Upon approach, turn off flashing lights and beacons. Only use running and clearance lights. If possible, turn off the engine to limit exhaust fumes during patient transfer.
And right shoulder pain.
When moving around the aircraft, use caution to avoid contacting the propeller, winglets on the tip of the wing, and all probes on the front end of the wing. Probes may be heated, which can cause burns upon contact.
As we slide you in here.
Allow flight crew to direct patient transfer and assist only when instructed to do so. Keep in mind that only the flight crew can operate the aircraft doors. After patient loading, clear the area but remain on airport grounds until the airplane becomes airborne. If patient condition changes or additional assistance is required, the airplane may return to the airport. Protocols and procedures explained in this video are meant to keep everyone on the ground and in the air safe. We rely on you, our valued partners, to fully understand what it means to create and operate a safe landing zone. LifeLink 3 would like to thank you for working with us during these critical situations. It requires all of us working together to consistently maintain high safety standards. LifeLink 3's transportation services are accredited by CAIMS, ensuring the highest standards of quality and safety are met on every flight. For more information on LifeLink 3 and safety-related information, please visit our website.